the Indian horror film Bramayugam. I've been promising you guys since I walked out of the theater seeing it a more analytical and in-depth review. And well, we're going to give that to you, but also give you a little bit more. I found it a fantastic article from Indian Express on this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to read along this gentleman's review, and I will give you my thoughts as well in what I feel is one of the best horror films that I've seen in years. It is called Bramayugam, and it stars Mammootty. And you guys have been going crazy over this. I've been getting so many fantastic comments, and one interesting one was saying that it's too bad that this movie is just for Kerala, part of India that it's from, and that we'll never get what it means or all the inside themes, I suppose. And I completely disagree. Cinema is for everyone. Great cinema touches indeed all of us from all over the globe, as this one did, horrified me. And I really felt that this review kind of got this, kind of really hit the points, the major points with me as well. So let's do this, guys. For cinema's sake, let's head on down to South India with the movie Bramayugam. Mammootty's miraculous run continues with the bleakest Indian horror film in years, a take no prisoners tirade against humanity. Hey, this writer, Rohan, goes all in. So let's start us for now. A wickedly deceptive film that aims to subvert every theme it tackles: gender, caste, the conventions of horror cinema. Director Raul Sarasvian's Brahmagam is perhaps the most nihilistic mainstream Indian movie in years. Even Sandeep Reddy Wagner, determined as he is often to be the edgiest person in the room, would shudder at the thought of presenting a world this bleak. Although, incidentally, at least one subplot in Brahma Yugam's very similar to the central revenge story in Animals. This gentleman's writer makes some references to some more international directors that you might be familiar with. Robert Eggers, even A24, that this film could be released under the A24 banner. Absolutely. And I've seen now the two films from Sarasvian as just amazing works of just human beings in bleak and dire situations, in a battle of good and evil, sometimes within themselves. But here, this black and white masterpiece, it goes ancient, ancient with the setting in the 1800s, and then with old ancient evils being replaced by new ones, and all at this time, uh, it's humankind kind of perpetuating, the kind of this strength, this this uh, this never ending death that evil it just keeps persisting, this never ending persistence of evil, which is helped by human greed. Oh my god, yeah. So I'm really on par with this article so far. So the rest of it, believe it or not, takes the standard issued uprising template that is so popular in South Indian films and refashions it into something that A24 would happily acquire, just like I said. Just like I said. And mark it within an inch of its life. Bramayugam stars Mammootty, the Malayalam cinema icon who is currently in a zone that only Denzel Washington has existed before him, as a man who appears to be rotting in real time. This man is Kodumon Poti, introduced to us as an upper caste landowner in the 17th century Kerala, but later revealed to be a shape-shifting goblin in human form. Yeah, you heard that right, guys. He's the lord of this palace, of this realm, but he ends up being something else, a possessed lord by a goblin. Koduman lives by himself in a crumbling old mansion in the middle of a forest. Although he has an Igor-like servant to do his bidding, this man, whose responsibilities include cooking for his master and also disposing of dead bodies on his behalf, expels spittle and snark in equal measure. Yes, his Igor-like, assistant is just absolutely fantastic, and there's really only 3 characters here, right? There's the servant, there's the lord that Mammootty plays, and then there is the, escaped slave that comes to stay with them, that have, as far as, dialogue in this. There is a female character, and we'll get to that in a minute. One day, a mysterious stranger named Thevon shows up at their doorstep, starving for food and desperate to outrun the slave traders that he has just escaped from. Thevon is taken aback at Koduman's generosity, which he views as genuine, but we, the viewers, immediately recognize this as performative. He is offered a meal and lodging despite having alerted Koduman to the fact that he belongs to a lower caste. The foreboding doom builds, and there is the amazing Mammootty in his role. And absolutely, we know right away Mammootty's is the devil incarnate. In that someone just so innocent as this escaped slave would not recognize it at first. Would just be so taken with his hospitality. Is like, I'm not even supposed to like be looking at you. I'm not even supposed to be walking in this palace, and you're inviting me to live with you? All I gotta do is sing for my food? I'm in. And yeah, he does sing for his food, which is quite remarkable. With a sick smile and a creepy cackle, Koduman insists that one's station in society isn't always defined by where they were born, but can be changed by their karma. All he wants in exchange for his hospitality, he says, is for Thevon to be his personal iPod, sing songs for him upon demand. Sounds like a good deal to him. But almost immediately, he learns that the house holds many secrets. The most alarming, which might be connected to the sounds of clamoring and clanging emanating from the attic. Yes, guys, yes, there is an attic that you're hearing these just god awful sounds. And you are in just you're in fear for Thevon to like get out of there. Just get out. Don't go exploring, man. Don't go checking stuff out. Get out of that house. With hat tips aplenty to the works of Tarkovsky, Christopher Nolan, Robert Edgars, and most significantly, Gothic horror of the 1940s, Bramayugam is filled in a mesmerizing monochrome that harkens back to the glory days of Nosferatu and Universal monsters. But as old fashioned as Savasian's inspirations may be, his anxieties feel frighteningly urgent. It is clear almost instantly that the film's primary theme is caste conflict. Thevon is initially subservient, even going so far as to scold Korumon's cook for speaking ill of their master behind his back. This, the movie says, is how the oppressed have been wired to operate. Choice is merely an illusion for people like Thevon, an idea that the movie demonstrates through a game of dice he obviously loses because it has been rigged against him. Wow. Wow. Very well said, very well written, Rohan. And yeah, that we see how the game is rigged, how society too is rigged, even in the 17th century, as just as just locked in was this caste society that even when he thinks he wins in a game of dice, it's all the house always wins. The house on this example, the palace always wins. This is a fantastic article, guys. I'm gonna have this link of this article in the video box description. You best believe it doesn't take him too long to realize that he isn't going to be allowed to leave the mansion at all, bound as he is by his accursed fate. And it is when dealing with his sudden desire to introduce lore, Sadasvian begins building a roadmap to the rude shock that he wants to deliver. Bramayugam isn't merely a film about oppression. Thank you. It's a film about infighting among the oppressed. If you've been living off the scraps all your life, the cook tells Thevon in one scene, foreshadowing the dogfight that he, the son of a housemaid, will initiate in the climax. It's a move straight out of the Bong Joon-ho playbook, and Sarasvian underlines his grand statement in the film's final moments when the cook is killed by a Portuguese invader. Wow. implying the internal disharmony was the main reason why India fell to the Europeans. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Fantastic. And this is where I can really connect in regards to the history of my ancestors, as far as my indigenous ancestors here in the Americas and in Mexico, was that because there was so much infighting amongst the indigenous tribes of Nahuatls, right? From yes, the Aztecas to the Chichimecas and all these other tribes, it was relatively easy for the Spanish to come in and conquer swiftly by pitting one kingdom, one tribe against each other. And here, what's more personal is that it's poor people he's pitted these two poor souls against each other. So there's chaos. Even though they escape, they're still in a world of chaos. And then who shoots one of them down? Portuguese explorers. Boom, introducing the gunpowder and the rifle. Let's just take this in just for a second. Just what a man confident with his cinematic presence. And again, this is the only film to date that I have seen of Mammootty, and I was so impressed. This man is like a De Niro, like a Brando, who just is so settled into his own skin. He trusts his exteriors, that he's working internally, internally as to the next thing he's going to say, the next eye glance, the next smile, the next snarl. Wow. Just a great performance. Fantastic performance. Okay, let's get back to this great article. This is Bramayugam, the age of madness. God didn't create these divisions, the film says. They were created by men. And Bramayugam represents the dominance of men by virtually erasing women from the equation. There's room only for one female character, a forest dwelling succubus whose minor presence is more confusing than anything else. She exists perhaps only as an Easter egg that those familiar with the folklore would appreciate, and appears in the film's opening scene before the spectacular title card. Then, once again, much later, when Thevon spots her mid liaison with Kodumon. Paramayugam is subtly ambitious and understandably flawed, followed up to Sarasyan's Butakalam. Pound for pound, the best Indian horror movie in years. More than anything else, the film's immersive storytelling and welcome aversion to cheap scare tactics establishes Sarasyan as the country's foremost horror filmmaker. He's India's answer to Mike Flanagan. Men are doomed to fight endless wars among themselves, while women are literally erased from existence. Evil, greed, and toxicity perseveres. This is the hopeless and sobering note that Brahma Yugam ends on. Madness is only exclusive. The real rot lies within. And thank you, Rohan, for this incredible article. I'll have the link there for you guys connected. And this is incredible because after just seeing Sarasvian's two films, Butakalam and now Brahma Yugam, I, I believe it. I believe that he is India's answer to Mike Flanagan. I mean, you talk about one bold step up from one film to the next. This film swings for the fences, and it's a baseball American sports baseball term where you're not just trying to uh, get a safe hit. I mean, you're not just playing safely to where you survive, to where like you'll be rewarded to the next step, which is first base. But in fact, Saras Viam wants to hit a home run. He wants to take this movie and its viewers off for a ride out of the stadium of storytelling and into that stratosphere of evil and good in this horror film genre. And I want to just applaud him and this just incredibly mesmerizing black and white film. So that is really a couple of takeaways from me with this film, and how I really loved this article and how it hit on some of the major aspects of this movie, and how we as a global community can connect through great cinema. And unfortunately, great cinema is not being done week by week, week after week lately from Hollywood. It is, in fact, being done week after week lately from different countries: India, Mexico, Argentina, Chile, South Korea, Japan, and the list goes on. So we here at the Latino Slant applaud these films, applaud this incredible black and white horror film called Bramayugam, The Age of Madness. I was lucky to catch it in the theater here. It was only in the theater for 1 week. I'm looking forward to seeing this again. I definitely, if I have to stream it, I will. But I really would rather see if I can get a hard copy of this. I want to know your thoughts. Please comment now on this article, on kind of my analysis and insights into not only what this article was talking about, but what also I got out of the film, those deeper connections of that in-house fighting of caste, and how that is a horror. And then when you add these kind of supernatural elements of these older ancestral evil forces, it's not a good mix. It's not a good mix. Okay, my name is Paulie. This is the Latino Slant. Make sure you are subscribed, and if it be so kind, if you're digging all our content here on the channel, leave us a super chat, PayPal or super chat right now. Every cent goes a long way here at the channel. Wherever you're at, keep your slant fuerte. Gracias.